You'd never guess it from the way they look on screen, but some of Marvel's most dastardly villains are actually pretty good-looking, once you get underneath all the makeup, CGI, and prosthetics, that is. Here are some of the Marvel movie villains who are gorgeous in real life. Jaimon Hansu is probably best known for his work in films like Amistad, Gladiator, In America, and Blood Diamond, two of which earned him Academy Award nominations for Best Supporting Actor. Before he became such a renowned actor, though, he got his start as an international model after being discovered in Paris by the fashion house Thierry Mugler. Soon after making a splash on the runway, Hansu moved to America and started landing screen roles that capitalized on his staggering good looks and considerable thespian talents. For his appearance as Korath, the Pursuer in Guardians of the Galaxy, however, contact lenses, a prosthetic headpiece, and some armored costumery took much of the focus away from his looks. Guardians hasn't been the only movie to do this either. For DC's Aquaman, Hansu has been given a reptilian exterior as the Fisherman King that bears virtually no resemblance to his real-life appearance. Lost fans will no doubt recognize Adewale Akinoye Agbaje as the drug kingpin who survived in the tail section of Flight 815 only to succumb to the show's terrifying smoke monster. In Thor: The Dark World, however, the actor was very hard to make out beneath both of the costumes he wore throughout the film. His first look as Algrim had him wearing a bleached wig and white eyebrows while sporting bright blue contact lenses. Once he transformed into the monster Kurse, his appearance was completely concealed beneath a hulking spiky bodice and bony headpiece. The Dark World wasn't the last comic-based movie to cover him up entirely either. He was just as difficult to make out underneath all the costuming and makeup needed for his turn as Killer Croc in Suicide Squad. Another actor whose appearance was completely obscured in the MCU is Alexis Denisov, who portrayed the Other in the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy. To fully become the grotesque servant of Thanos, Denisov was plastered with a blue and purple makeup regimen, covered with a wiry face mask, and then dressed in a hooded cloak.
Your turn! I reveal!
In real life, though, Denisov is a real looker. With dishwater blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, and a pearly white smile, the recent Emmy nominee could just as easily have landed a role as Captain America's long-lost brother. You'd have a hard time picking Ebony Maw's actor out of a lineup if you didn't already know who he was. As Maw, Tom Von Lawler sported a broad expanse in place of a nose, along with speckled gray skin and wispy white hair.
Trespassing in this city and on this planet.
It means get lost, Squidward.
He exhausts me.
In reality, though, Von Lawler has brown hair, fair skin, and of course an actual nose. The actor has made appearances on the small screen in shows such as Peaky Blinders, Love Hate, and The Secret Agent. For Infinity War, Von Lawler, who claims to have dressed up as Maw while auditioning for the film, filmed his scenes using a CGI mocap suit. He has also admitted that his son in particular enjoyed the results of his on-screen transformation, telling The Independent that he thinks it is funny because I look so ugly. It may go without saying, but X-Men First Class actor Jason Fleming doesn't actually have the same fiery red skin, greasy black mane, sharp spaded tail, or teleportation skills of his on-screen alter ego, Azazel. Instead, the actor has reddish blonde hair, blue eyes, and Caucasian skin. Luckily for him, his eyebrows don't rise to a menacing point either, nor does he bear the same facial scars as the character. Unfortunately, that meant that he had to endure a daily makeup regimen to get into character. When he found out he wouldn't be involved in the film's sequel, Days of Future Past, Fleming was somewhat comforted that he wouldn't have to submit to the intense makeover process again. He told MovieWeb, "Initially, I was gutted, but then I remembered I had to get up at 2 in the morning, I had to be painted red and be slightly out of focus and post a lot, and that was sort of it. Now I don't have to do that." Nowadays, Nebula is fighting for the good guys after making peace with her sister Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. She did start out as a villain, though.
You were going to kill my father?
You dared to oppose me.
You see what he has turned me into? You kill him, I will help you destroy 1,000 planets.
And although you wouldn't know it by looking at her, the actress portraying her is actually quite striking in real life. To get into character as Thanos' least favorite daughter, Karen Gillan donned metallic and blue makeup, shaved off her hair, blacked out her eyes, and had a few android body parts added for good measure. She told Screen Rant, "It's really intense going through this makeup in the morning, but it's amazing. I think it takes about 4.5 hours now. But also, it's so worth it because I see bits of footage that we've shot and it's just so amazing. It's so worth it." Ryan Reynolds' ruggedly handsome looks were covered up quite a bit for his leading role as Wade Wilson in Deadpool, first with severe burn marks and then with his red and black head-to-toe costuming. But he became truly unrecognizable as the villainous Juggernaut in Deadpool 2. The character was digitally rendered with CGI, but Reynolds also donned some mocap gear to act out Juggernaut's facial expressions. Director Tim Miller justified Reynolds' double duty as a matter of sheer convenience for everyone. He told Cinema Blend, "It'd be like, okay, let's just switch into Juggernaut mode, try this, as opposed to let's bring in somebody, wait for them, call time, all this." It was a tight unit. So even though Reynolds bears no resemblance to the hulking and helmeted muscle man, fans might be able to notice a familiar expression or two buried underneath all that might and metal, if they look closely enough. Even before that tank of electric eels turns him lightning blue from head to toe, Jamie Foxx's good looks are pretty well concealed in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. In the early stages of the film, he's shown as Max Dillon, a balding, buck-toothed, and bespectacled electrical engineer. Foxx's usual charisma, head full of hair, and otherwise handsome features are nowhere in sight. When he transforms into Electro, Foxx becomes hidden beneath luminescent skin and glowing eyes. To create the look, the actor was drenched in veiny prosthetics and blue makeup that was later enhanced with digital effects. Foxx has credited the makeover with informing his performance.
I would just look in the mirror for hours, just looking with the blue contacts and everything, and then finally honing in with my manager, Jamie King. She's like, go, keep trying to find it, and we found it.
In 2000's X-Men, Ray Park disappears beneath a lime skin tone, a bright green spike hairdo, and a truly slimy smile. But in reality, Park has dark blonde hair, grayish blue eyes, and a bright white set of teeth. And although the amphibious bad guy with the perilous tongue was a significant transformation to make, it was hardly Park's most image-obscuring role. The year before he joined the X-Men universe, he starred as Darth Maul in Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace, although it might be tough to make him out beneath all those horns and red and black demonic makeup. He was even less visible in G.I. Joe: Retaliation as the mute and helmeted ninja Snake Eyes. All in all, X-Men actually turned out to be one of his more recognizable franchise roles. If you didn't care much for Malekith the Accursed in Thor: The Dark World, don't worry, the actor playing him didn't either. Christopher Eccleston has since admitted that he took the role as a paycheck gig, but that the sheer amount of time he spent in the makeup chair ruined the experience for him. He told The Express, "The first couple of days it was about 7 hours, 8 hours in makeup. I think we got it down to 6.5. Marvel were dishonest to me, because they never ever let me know that there'd be that amount of makeup." Indeed, you'd be hard-pressed to recognize the renowned movie and TV star beneath all the layers of prosthetics, headgear, and shining icy eyes. In real life, he's got a far more muted eye color and short salt and pepper hair. It isn't exactly MCU tradition for a titular hero to face off against himself, but that's what happened in Doctor Strange.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Benedict Cumberbatch played both the time-warping wizard and the dark-dimensional uber-bad Dormammu via voice acting and some facial capture work. Cumberbatch has claimed it was his idea to voice the villain in the movie. He told Cinema Blend, "I went, look, if this is going to work, rather than being a big ghoulish monster, if it's some kind of reflection of him, if it's something that he's giving that's coming back at him in a really horrific way, that would be fun." Although Cumberbatch may be tall, that's about where the comparisons between his appearance and Dormammu's end.